Welcome, ladies and gents. So this is kind of like a two-pronged video. We're going to be looking at Lucasfilm's President Kathleen Kennedy and all of the nonsense that she has begun espousing about future Star Wars projects being High Republic, and apparently the company's ability to transparently communicate their storytelling. Oh, all right. In what planet was this happening? Because it hasn't been happening in any planet I'm aware of. Goodness me. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And if you like the video, give it a like. I will say as well, guys, if you like this type of content, check out the link in the description box to my second channel. It's where my podcast goes, the Hcast. You'll find all the best bits there. It's a good thing. You'll like it. So this is just absolutely hilarious. I mean, one, no one cares about the High Republic. Those stories, they're in the bin in terms of the sales and things like that. Like, no one has been buying those books. No one cares about any of that at all. No one's interested. So it's why change now, I guess? You know, why adapt anything different now? Why would you not? You know, why would you want to change anything up? Of course you're not going to. You're gonna keep pursuing the level of shite that you have been pursuing. High Republic. Let's just adapt to that, shall we? Why not? Ridiculous. So Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy recently revealed there are plans to adapt the High Republic comics. Cool. Those things that no one bought. Oh, and the novels, again. No one bought that either, but why not? Why wouldn't we adapt that? Of course. Of course! As I've just been saying. So Kennedy made an appearance on Entertainment Weekly's Dagobah Dispatch. You know, Dagobah. This looks weird when it's written down. I didn't even know there was an Entertainment Weekly podcast about Star Wars. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Anyway, she was asked, you've had a huge book initiative with the High Republic and all these novels coming out. So is that a space where we're going to start to see more on screen? You know, it could be. Because one of the things we talked about in publishing was how we could begin to incubate certain ideas. And in the case of the High Republic, there's been some wonderful storytelling that's gone on there. It's not necessarily what Leslie's doing with Acolyte, but it certainly opens up the possibilities of being able to tell stories in that space. The space that no one's interested in. Yes, why not? Let's do it, guys. Let's explore the stuff that no one cares about. That's the real smart stuff. So in contrast, Kennedy was also asked about potentially adapting, this is where everyone will get really annoyed, Kestis and the Star Wars Jedi video games into live-action film or TV series. And she said, I've seen a lot of chatter online about that. It could be really interesting. It's not something that's front and centre right at the moment. You fucking insane? Excuse the language. Are you absolutely insane? High Republic, garbage. Jedi video games, generally people like them, and like this character of Cal Kestis. Nah, we're not interested in that, mate. Nah, son. Why? You're insane, Kathleen Kennedy. You're running Star Wars. I'd say you're running it into the ground. You've ran it into the ground. Like, for goodness sake. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. She then went on to praise the company's internal communications when it comes to all of the stories they're working on. But what's interesting in the company that we do is everybody across all these lines of business is we all talk to one another. Oh, good. So you're all just shit with your ideas, then, are you? Fantastico. So that doesn't happen in situations like this, but because Lucasfilm, so many of the people are used to working together, we're very transparent about what the storytelling is that's going on, whether it's in the streaming space or the movie space or books, animation, games, whatever it is. Eventually, it will be some kind of immersive entertainment. There's so many things we talk about in just how we use technology with ILM inside the company. So this constant cross-pollination of ideas to determine just exactly what stories move into the movie space, what stories move into the TV space, You never know, because the creative process is very similar in all of those different spaces. So you don't have a crystal ball, you see what works and you draw from that. And yet you're drawing from the stuff that actually doesn't work? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Honestly, why would you do that? Utterly ridiculous. I reckon this is a right situation. That's what I would say. It's they don't technically have the full rights to developing Cal Kestis, and they don't want to pay anyone for it. I would imagine that's something to do with it. It has to be. Has to be. Yeah. Utterly ridiculous. What an absolute idiot. Whereas the High Republic they own outright. Maybe they don't own fully by some degree. I honestly don't know. So Kennedy's comments appear to indicate a massive change in the culture at Lucasfilm because it stands in direct contrast from the creation of the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy. Rian Johnson with Cinema Blend had revealed previously he was given a blank slate for Star Wars. When asked whether or not JJ provided any character input, no, he was really gracious in just stepping back and giving us a blank slate to work with. The starting point was the Force Awakens script, which is quite a big, expansive, wonderful starting point. And in that way, we're drawing directly from his work, but from that point forward, it's a blank canvas. I mean, it's basically the same. There's nothing positive about what she's saying here. At all. Do you feel that the trilogy would have benefited from planning out a very strict 3-movie story from the very beginning, or do you enjoy that kind of creative freedom? And yeah, I mean, he was just like, yeah. What I've learned as a lesson a few times, it's something that, especially in this pandemic year, working with writers, the lesson is you have to plan things the best you can. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, but this is all placation, I think. This has to be just placating utter nonsense. And also, as well, like, you can't sit there and take anything positive from this when they're like, no, we're not, that's not something that's front and centre at the moment. It could be interesting, but no. No, is what they're saying. No. Why? Why are you so happy to do the bloody... The High Republic's crap. It's so rubbish. Anyway, sorry, just blew your ears off there. Let me know what you think down below. Utter garbage. Love to hear your thoughts. She's insane. Take care.